Welcome to SubQ's. I'm your host, Daniella Lane. Today's guest is Willa Houlihan, a self-described Southern peach from the Low Country, though she'll tell you her accent is slowly fading away. Growing up, she fell in love with Cartoon Network and animated films like Ponyo and Spirited Away, which sparked a lifelong passion for storytelling and creating comics of her own. Willa recently graduated from the New School and now spends her days serving at a comedy club and bartending in Park Slope. On her days off, you'll likely find her at the People's Beach or dancing with her sisters. As an artist, Willa's work spans multiple genres and mediums. She loves pushing herself to write in different voices, but everything she creates is grounded in a deep curiosity about identity, community, and the world around us. In film, she blends campy horror with deadpan comedy to critique the limited perspective of cis people, while exploring the complexities of trans femme friendships. In her literary work, she combines mystical realism with near-dystopian worlds to imagine what the future might hold for trans people in this country. And lately, she's even been experimenting with writing from the perspective of a cis man, just to see what challenges that might uncover. Looking ahead, Willa hopes to work in publishing, where she wants to help launch more manuscripts for trans femmes. She believes in giving other artists a megaphone, and that passion for amplifying voices is a thread that runs through everything she does. Welcome back to SubQ's. Today our guest is Willa Houlihan. Hi Willa, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, thank you for coming on. So I know you've had a really big year.
Huge year.
Huge year. You graduated.
I did.
From the New School,
From
so congratulations.
the New School, Narwhal Pride. Yeah, that, God.
How has it been post-grad life?
It's been, to be honest, I've literally just been working. I've just been bartending.
Yeah.
I've just been bartending, and, today is my first day off in, 7 days.
Wow.
So I'm just we're here.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot, I'm sure, balancing that, but also trying to make your art at the same time. How has that kind of looked?
I honestly, it's kind of been scaring me a little bit.
Yeah.
For one, it's I literally left the book I was reading. I was reading The Fifth Wound by Aurora Matia, and it's a book that I've been wanting to read for so long, but then I left it at my other job. And I've been working so much at this new bartending job that I haven't had time to go and do it. So I just decided to bring my little notebook to the bar and everything. But I don't know, it scares me a little bit that I'm going to, I kind of get a little glimpse that I might lose the time and I might lose the drive to create things like that, and rather focus on, because it doesn't help that I love service work and stuff like that. I love bartending. I never feel dreadful to go in because I love making conversation. But what's hard is I just don't have, I don't know, I feel with school and everything, it's just so easy. I love following a deadline and stuff like that. And deadlines annoyingly make me push out all of this work and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel it definitely helps having routine, because in that way you can be a little disciplined when you're approaching your art. Is there anything that you've done kind of recently that you feel really excited about?
What did I do?
I'm sure a lot of
What
things.
have I done recently? I think I started writing. I did this for the first. I wrote from a male perspective. I wrote from a 50-year-old man's perspective.
Wow.
Of a. I honestly wanted to write up from a father's perspective or something, and it's just something that I've been used to writing in this mid-20s trans girl kind of tone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was the first time, and I was writing in it, and I was I have to try this more. I have to keep I don't know, I really want to push out a story or something from a perspective like that, because for one, it makes me yeah, that was just, I don't know, I really liked that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also like love in your work. I just watched She's Just Pretty Again
Oh,
from your Instagram.
She's Just Pretty.
And I love that film. I mean, for one, I love the DIY aspect of it, but also I feel like you kind of have this like dark comedic slapstick thing that you bring into the mix. And I know when you were younger, growing up, you watched a lot of cartoons. Is there any way that the cartoons you watched kind of play into the work that you make now?
Oh, for sure. I think it's just like, I love me some like fluid animation and stuff like that. Like I love when characters just are able to like throw their limbs around and stuff like that. And I love like
Yeah.
fight scenes and stuff like that. And I feel like that comes up a lot in like my writing too. Like, and like what you're saying and everything. I would say yes. To get to the point.
Yeah,
But
and I feel like also, do you want to tell the viewers like a little bit more about what that film is about? Because I feel like it explores a really almost taboo topic that's not really talked
Yeah.
about, and She's Just Pretty.
yeah, for sure. So I made that. I'm gonna look at the camera now.
Yeah.
I'm addressing you. So I made that film. I made that film right before I started hormones, and it was around that time where like I was first like that was when I was wearing like a full face of makeup like to any event I would go to, and I feel like a lot of like these like cis girls like in my class, like especially at like the new school and stuff like that, would just
Yeah.
kind of come up to me and be like, just almost like they were trying to get like tokens for like reassuring me that I'm like gorgeous
Yeah.
and stuff like that, when it was so obvious like how hard I was. I don't know, because like I didn't really, because you know it's like before I started taking hormones, like I was also, you know, like 20, so I don't know like my style yet and stuff like that. And there were all of these women that I felt like were coming up to me and were trying to reassure me, but it just kind of felt fake. And then when I started taking hormones and stuff like that, like that's when I stopped wearing like the full face of makeup and stuff like that. And that was really freeing. But then it's still there. And I'm just so tired. It was coming out of a place of being so exhausted and also I can like explain like the plot of the movie at some point.
But I feel like that kind of encapsulates like what it's about. I mean, when you're transitioning, it's such a vulnerable time.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of cis people think that maybe like over complimenting you is sort of like giving them points as maybe an ally.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like something that we can address all the time, because at face value, it's a good thing, I guess. But like to us, it can be harmful in like really obscure ways.
Yeah. And that film was my way of scaring girls off from doing that.
Yeah.
Or literally, like, it's the title. She's just pretty. Like, leave her alone.
Yeah, you don't have
Like,
to shower her in compliments to overcompensate.
yeah, and like, so basically the plot of that film is essentially there's this girl played by one of my like best friends and my roommate, Justicia Wilson.
So
And
talented also. So shout out to her.
no,
She's
shout out to
amazing.
her. Oh
She's
God,
incredible.
love her so much. Saffronia on Spotify.
Yes.
SoundCloud, everything.
Go listen.
But yeah, so she was so down to. That was also when I was like first getting to know her too.
Yeah.
And she was like so down to do that role, and we basically her character is just walking through Manhattan, and then this girl played by my friend Shiv, who I met in film class and everything, and she's just like. She's awesome too. Like she was like just getting into acting and everything, and she was like, I'd really love to do this. And I just saw it. Like I was like, I don't know. And she was also just like, she was one of the good cis girls. Like she was.
Yeah, and she's also like a firecracker on screen or on
She was
screen. She's like so quick.
She's so funny, and she just like she played into it. All I had to say, because I think like that first scene is when Shiv kind of comes up to Jess's character and is like showering her in these compliments like I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And it's just too much. It's that tone where it's like, yes, girl, and work, and you're gorgeous. And it's just like, I know this is not how you talk to your friends and stuff like that. But after that, like, it's almost like Shiv's character is she's trying to like figure out if there's like a secret to like her beauty or something, or like trying to get like Jess's character to admit that like it's like the moans or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Jess so deadpan says like, I suck the soul out of every cis girl just like you. That's my secret. And she just walks off, and Shiv's character is just started to be like haunted by Jess. Like she sees her in the street and everything. And then finally she follows her all the way back to her house and basically reveals herself to be like a true vampire and stuff like that. And it ends towards the ending, like we get back to this like slapstick comedy. Like there's like the exaggerated like sound effects and stuff like that. There's just like, I love like screaming like so much. Like I love like, it's just, and she was so good at it too. Like she was she was like being hysterical and everything. And I was just like, this is perfect. And this whole kind of encounter turns out to be this like figment of her imagination, like this spiral, when really like at the end it's revealed that Shiv's character imagined all of this.
Yeah.
And Jess is just like, okay, like see you later. But I don't know, did I go a little off topic?
No, you were exactly on topic. And I feel like it's important for the viewer to kind of like know in context to this conversation. Because I also feel like it kind of parallels this like broader conversation of maybe your experience in film school as a trans filmmaker.
Yeah. And because people are so quick to be like, this is what irritated with me was She's Just Pretty after I finished it. Was it got really good. Like everyone in my class like loved it. And then I decided to, I've been dying to talk about like this one part.
Yeah.
But I went and did this like film festival through the school called Rough Cuts.
Okay.
And it was great. Like everyone loved it and everything. And it was, and after like it was over, like everyone was just kind of like, and I just went up and I said, yeah, be scared, bitch. But,
That's so good.
But then it was weird because then people were asking questions and they were like, first of all, like, you are really pretty and stuff like that. And I'm just like, did you not just watch the fucking movie? And I take the compliment and everything. Like, I like it, but I'm like, that's not the point. Like, the point is, but hold on, wait.
Well, I also feel like maybe, you know, it speaks to like a broader issue of people don't really know either how to interact with us or are also maybe like a bit scared of how to like maneuver those relationships with trans people and like in particular, you know, trans women. Yeah.
And this is what irritated me the most was there was this, someone did like a piece for like the New School Free Press or something like that. And just like tearing the New School apart. Like I'm so excited. But the summary for my film was so ridiculous. It was literally just Willa Houlihan's film about a trans girl vampire. That was it. There was no like, it didn't even say that like there was like a horror or that it was comedy or everything. It was just trans girl vampire. And that's just not what, do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's such a key social dynamic in the film between your trans character and this cis girl who like overcompensates by showering her with compliments. And it's like, by kind of not even including the key feature that you're sort of like trying to dissect in this film feels dismissive in itself.
And it just like erases like, also like Shiv's like gorgeous performance and everything, and
so essential to the story as well.
So essential to the story, and it's just like, again, that was the moment where I'm like, you're watching my like my art and stuff like that, but you're just taking it as a new perspective. I think we talked about this a little bit on Zoom. You're just taking it as a new perspective rather than what the story actually is and what it actually is addressing. Because people are so quick to be like, oh, I watched this like trans girl movie, instead of just being like, oh, but what actually happened? You know what I mean? It's like people are so quick to like want to get a token point for listening to a trans person. Like, it's just, so that frustrated me like a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like what's really crucial about showing your work and also talking about your work is that like people should approach it and be willing to actually digest it. And like I think that's something we do like on the podcast, but also like what film school should be allowing you to have in terms of like the film school experience.
No, exactly.
You know, did you find that maybe it's like regardless of the showcase, was that kind of a dynamic that you felt in terms of like who you worked with at your film school and also maybe like the people who were also film students?
Wait, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I guess like did you find that that dynamic of people dismissing your like narrative and your story was kind of prevalent with like amongst the students as well?
Yeah, like there were a lot of supportive people.
Yeah.
Like there were so many supportive people and stuff like that, but I just like I think I'll get into this in a second, but like I do really want to talk about like how my thesis presentation of my film Persephone went.
Sure.
But I mean, like, to start off, like, it's not like everyone in that school was like rotten or anything like that.
Of course not.
Like, there were so many supportive people, and there were people that actually did like really love the work that I was doing and stuff like that. But it was kind of like I had to, for some people, it's like I kind of have to like hold your hand and like walk you through. It's, I don't know. It's already so hard for me to summarize something because I'm just like very like ADHD and I love going, take every path to whatever the saying.
But I'm sure generally it was like a very complex and maybe like nuanced experience where there were like lots of good things, but also sometimes not so good things.
Yeah, and it was just like, it was frustrating to, I don't know, it was like, I just want to make this stuff. I just want to write these things without like trying to convince you that like, not that this matters, but that it's like I can't convince someone not to see like
The value?
Yeah. And I mean, because again, like the reaction from She's Just Pretty to when I showed it at the first cinema injection that Pussy 2 Cunt did, that I did with Rosalina Michelle, and love her so much. Girl's girl.
And also an amazing collective to kind of showcase.
Which like, and I was so appreciative of how willing she was to like show that film and everything, because I can be very much like, no, like I don't want to. Like I'm just very much like, no, like I don't want to. But then when I was in that space with like all those trans people, like everyone was eating it up. And like I was just like, yes, this is the reaction I want. Like and I was just like, and this is who I'm making it for. It's like I don't want to make it for this like I don't want to make it for these like cis people and stuff like that. But like I do want to make it to that audience to just kind of like, I don't know, critique them a little bit. Just be like, listen up. Listen up.
Well, yeah, and I feel like that also kind of bleeds into what you want to do with publishing. Like if you want to talk a little bit more about that, because I know you mentioned that like maybe you're kind of putting film on the back burner and you want to get into publishing more. So like what is that going to look like for you?
Publishing for me was, because that's the thing, it's like with school, it's like I went for film, like I had the scholarship to go do film and everything like that, but I had this like amazing professor, Kyle Dylan Hertz. Huge shout out to him, because he's just like, oh my God, he's amazing. He has this book called The Look Back Window that's like, it literally changed my life. But he was kind of the first person in that school to be like, why the hell are you doing film? Like he literally said to me like, why are you doing film? Like you're a writer.
Wow.
Like, And I don't know. And then through his classes and stuff like that, that's when I was first introduced to like workshop critique through writing and everything. And I just loved like, I just realized I had so much more to say and I was so much more invested in like written form rather than film and stuff like that. And but through publishing, like what my goal would be is like I want to, because why I love working with like Pussy 2 Cunt so much, being like the literary liaison and everything is, I don't know, it's just like I love platforming, like I love getting I love seeing these stories come across my desk, and I love like putting them up, whether it be like the newsletter on Substack or something like that. Like I don't know, I just feel like the written form is something so easily like thrown aside rather than film is.
Yes.
And I feel like the written form is something that's, you really do have to take the time to understand like the plot and the characters and the themes and everything, rather than film is like on the screen in front of you. And is this making sense?
It's making total sense. And I kind of wanted to get into it because, you know, I feel like a lot of what we talk about here has to do with film. But like, I'm so curious to know kind of what you think you can access through your writing that you can't exactly maybe express in filmmaking.
Again, it's like if someone's actually willing to sit the hell down and listen to, can I curse, by the way?
You can totally
I was like, I need more PR training.
You can curse here, guys. That's SubQ Media.
Love you, SubQ Media. But yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, I feel like not like respect someone so much harder, but like it says something about a person to really sit down and read through like 12 pages of like prose and everything like that, rather than, not to say like watching something is easier than reading, because I feel like you can say the same thing with like watching film and everything. You have to pay attention to all the little things too, but like, I don't know, it's just, I feel like writing and everything like that stays with me. Like there's like sentences and books and everything that stay with me longer than film ever has for me. And I feel like, I mean, if I feel that way, there has to be like so many other people that feel that way too, if you know what I mean. And
Totally.
do you know what I mean?
I of course know what you mean. I feel like especially with like books and writing, like there's something very nostalgic about it, because I feel like when we grow up, those are like kind of the things that maybe we attach to the most.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to backtrack because I feel like you have a really unique upbringing. You know, you were like, you were raised in the South. And like, how does that kind of inform like what you write about, but even the worlds that you build?
Yeah, I like, a lot of the stories that I started with, like, they have been set in the South and everything, and I love, like, it's just such a nice, like, the physical setting of it, not necessarily, like, you could say, I'll start with, like, the physical setting of it. Like, I love, like, the idea of, because it's just such, like, I don't know, like, the Southeast in the summertime, too, is, like, what I love writing about. It's such like a groan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, it's like the cicadas chirping and everything like that always comes back in all of my stories, and all of these like really old trees, and it's just like the physical setting of it all. Just comes up like again and again. I don't know, it's spooky. It's a spooky,
it is,
and it's a very wise, like, it's like a very wise setting. Like, it's
lots of history,
but then that's where we get into this, like, you know, it's like, it's this really like physically scary, not like scary, but like physically like unsettling place. But then you also, I feel like, what's happened to me more recently is this backdrop of the politics and stuff like that.
Yes.
And recently I've been doing a lot more, like slight dystopian writing where like I put characters like 5 years in the future of simple things like hormone therapy being revoked and stuff like that. And where the extent to where that leads like characters to what that leads characters to do and stuff like that. And I've enjoyed that because it's led to a lot of like this, what you're saying, this like slapstick fight scenes and stuff like that, but it also leads to these really like it leads to these like really primal like actions that these girls have to do in my stories. Like the one that I don't necessarily think it's finished. I need to come back to it, but it's called Feast. And this one wasn't set in the South though. This one was set in Long Island, Maine, this like little island off the coast of Portland.
Okay.
Portland, Maine. And it's basically like this girl she flees like New York City after after, you can interpret it as something like, I don't explicitly say it, like I say it a few times. I don't know, like I'm still kind of workshopping like what's actually going on like in like the government or whatnot. But basically like she flees to this island from New York and kind of befriends this cis woman summer camp owner. And the two of them decide to start this like refugee camp for like young trans girls. But the main character, I think her name's Leah. Leah starts to realize that like this first, she's spending a little bit too much time with this, like, son of, like, a lobster man. I just call him Lobster Boy. Like, I don't give him a name. I think it's just so funny to not give...
character.
And I also think it's so funny just, like, not to give cis people names in my...
Well, it's your world. I mean, hey.
Yeah, it's just, like...
Do as you please.
I don't know. It's just, like, it's just nice to not, like, for once be like, you don't get a name. Like, I'm just, like, you...
Yeah, it's like, that's not your interest in, like, the character you
exactly.
You want to build.
It's like...
And you have the right to that.
Yeah, and it's like, I still, and like with Lobster Boy and everything, it's like, I still gave him like, it's not like he was just a man. Like, I gave him like, I gave him like characteristics. So
of course, yeah.
Leah is spending way too much time with Lobster Boy and is not focusing that this person that she's leading this camp with is pocketing money from these young girls' parents and stuff like that, and is hoarding all of this, like, all of these goods and all of this, like, wealth from these girls while they are literally going hungry. Like, they're growing their own food and stuff like that. So Leah has to persuade the girls to band with her and, like, overthrow this, like, cis woman and, like, lead this, like, refugee camp, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's like really fascinating, but also kind of sinister because I weirdly feel like it kind of like parallels what we experience now.
Yeah.
It's like, especially living in a city where I feel like we're super tokenized. Like, is that something you kind of see where maybe it's like we're kind of, I guess like cis people are kind of trying to reap like certain benefits from us creatively maybe, or like, I don't know.
No, I mean, the best way to describe it is like when I was at Queer Liberation March a few weeks ago, there was this like group of cis people, like Queen Jean was like on the megaphone and everything. Like that woman, like, she just yells. She yelled all the way from Union Square all the way down to Foley Square, like in Friday and everything. And later that night at Nowadays, her voice was gone.
Yeah.
And she was just like trying to get these chants going. And then me and Rosalina, like, we like wanted to get the chance going to this like group of people ahead of us, and we just went forward, and they were just quiet, and and it was just kind of giving like, you can march with us, but you're not willing to actually use your fucking diaphragm you're not willing to lose your voice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's
it's like your body won't really like feel the impact of what we're trying to do.
It's like you can repost the fucking Instagram post,
yeah,
but you won't actually show up to the events or like actually help with like mutual aid or stuff like that. And that is what I think that's again like what led me to do this like comedy horror like dystopian shit, because it just irritates the hell out of me.
And that's the cool part about your work, is that you kind of like talk about all of these subjects that we don't necessarily have the opportunity to talk about and just like be honest about also. Yeah, I just like, I'm zoning out. it's okay. But
well, I mean, like, I'm zoning out because it's just so...
It's heavy stuff.
It's heavy, but it's just so frustrating. It just irritates me, like, so much. And that was where, again, it's just, like, that was the best way to describe it through, like, that Queer Liberation March moment was... Yeah, it's just, like, you can make these signs and everything. You can... But you're not willing to lose your voice, like... I just, it like, it's really frustrating.
Well, it's exhausting, like mentally and physically, but I feel like it definitely helps that we like are kind of building our little community where we can all support each other more, which is kind of the wonderful part about it. So
no, that's what I love, like what you're doing too, and I'm so excited to see. I'm so excited to hear what Thea has to say.
Me too. Our next guest. And
I literally like. She's in like her films and everything, the way her performances, like that is someone, I don't know, I've been really into like the idea recently of like the action of like using your diaphragm rather than and like losing your voice and everything like that to get a point across, or do you know what I mean?
Totally.
And she is just, I don't know, like she's someone who I just respects it because her performances and everything are just incredible. I feel like I'm getting off track.
She's amazing.
She's amazing.
We're so excited to have.
It's basically what I have to say.
Yeah.
I am so inspired by her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, at SubQ, we love your work. So like, what can the viewer kind of look forward to maybe getting from you in the near future?
Yeah. Persephone, my thesis film, is coming.
Okay, I'm excited, guys.
Yeah, it's coming. Do you mind if I talk about, do we have time for me to talk about like how like that thesis screening went and everything?
Yeah, please do. Right?
Okay, cute. 15 minutes. Okay, awesome. Yeah, no, that's plenty of time. Well, Persephone was just like, it was a film that I did last year, and it was kind of like the test shoot and everything. And after I did it, I loved it so much, but I realized that like all of the characters, the plot is that like these three girls, these witches, are reuniting a year after their fourth kind of sister, very much like The Craft, like Northeast, Southwest, like they're missing one of their core four. And the fourth one has disappeared for unknown reasons that I think I like to let like cis people interpret like, oh, like she's whatever. Like I don't know, like she's mysteriously disappeared, and when they're talking, they get together and they're like one of the characters is like trying to hold the ceremony, but the two others seem kind of distant from it. And it turns into this like, but then it's revealed that one of them has a black eye and is in this like abusive relationship and has not like told any of them about this. And it just kind of turns into this like argument of this like friendship between these girls and stuff like that. And it's like, I acted in it with Lunetta Green, who again, that's
wonderful.
Literally one of my best friends in my entire life. But with Lunetta Green and Jess again, like, because she's always, the two of them are like always down to be in my stuff. But it was like, we had to like yell at each other and stuff like that. We had to, but anyway, before I get off track again, the first kind of like rough shoot that I did last winter, I just realized that we were sitting down the entire time.
Yeah.
And it was a lot more focused on dialogue rather than like actually getting up and like moving around. And then this last one that I just did was like amazing. Like Vince was on it. Shout out to Vince, shout out to Nell, shout out to Rory. Like, oh my goodness, who am I missing? I think that's everybody. Oh, and Rosalina was there too. And Rosalina was literally like behind the camera the entire time, like doing we did all these like, she got me to do all these like long takes and everything like that. Like she's always behind the camera with most of my work. Like she's amazing. And yeah, and like it went so well and everything, and it was a lot for me because it's like I directed it, I acted in it, I wrote in it, I edited it.
It's a lot of work.
And yeah, and so like I decided to reshoot it and everything this spring, and I ran out of time because like this year there's just been like a lot of like changes and stuff like that, and I kind of ran out of time with editing and everything. And at this like thesis presentation, like I was running on no sleep because the night before, like I tried to just like finish everything and I just didn't get there. And I stupidly decided to be like, oh, like I'll host this event too. Like I was the one like introducing like everyone's films.
Yeah.
And everyone's film was just like, again, it's like I'm this very much like DIY person. Like it's not that like, I don't know. I like the look of just doing it, like just doing it rather than like working up this budget. I'm not like against like a budget or anything like that,
Yeah.
but
it really supports your writing style.
Yeah. And it's just like, I want it to look raw, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, it was a flop. It was a fucking flop not because of the acting, but because it just wasn't finished. And
it's hard to meet those deadlines like at film school.
it was so it just felt impossible. And then I was just looking at all of these other like the rest of my class did like such an amazing job. Like it was very like everything looked like very high production and really like, and then and my film was the last to go too, which just did not help.
And everyone kind of loses steam at that point.
Yeah, and I was just like, this was so, I was like, we were like yelling at each other and everything like that. And I was just like shrinking at the front because it was like, there was certain like audio that was accidentally left in. There were like certain cuts that were missed.
Yeah.
There were certain takes that were like literally not even taken out because I just ran out of time. And it was just, I had this like horrible reaction. Like I literally, after the screening was over, it was like, I literally run out to like the new school gallery, like one of like the galleries at the new school. And I was just like, sobbing.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't that I was just like embarrassed because it was just like I don't know, it's so hard not to get competitive like that in that school. And again, it was just a flop. But my professor Talia, who again, like shout out to her too. She's amazing. She's just like, I have so much respect for her. Like she's worked with people like Rosario Dawson, and she is also this like very like reserved, like really like reserved, like hard ass, but like I just respect it so much because that was the first time in school that like someone was really pushing me.
Yeah.
Like that, other than like Kyle. And I kind of went up to her after and I was like, can I talk to you? And she immediately was like, yes, absolutely. And she reassured me, like, it's impossible what you're saying. It's impossible to meet these deadlines and
It's
stuff
so
like
tough.
that. And it's so hard to do it with like no money and that, because I was ready to just like give up on film after that, but she really made me realize like I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna come back to it. Like,
Yeah.
and I feel like the more I talk about, honestly, like even just like speaking to you about this, like the more I do want to come back to it, and it will be Reese, because also shout out to Yarrow. Yarrow was like such a last minute like addition to the script because Lily was busy, because Lily was originally supposed to be who was on last week's episode.
Yes.
Or last month's episode or whatever. But
Our first guest.
yeah, but like she just did amazing, and I just like I really want to see. I also want to post like the rough cut too, because I want to see like how I want to show everyone like how amazing like those two performances were too, because I feel like they deserve it. And also we shot on like Bolex film for a part of it. Like and it looks so good.
Well, you know what I will say is that there's totally going to be more opportunities to show it as well. And like at SubQ, we're going to welcome you with open arms. And I think we're just like all really looking forward to it. Yeah.
I'm excited.
And I also just want to say, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
you did
you.
amazing. We're so lucky to have you.
I really appreciate it. No,
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to this so much.
Yay.
Like I'm always like the interviewer.
Thank you for watching
not,
SubQ's. I'm your host, Daniella Lane. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on our social medias and subscribe to our newsletter. We'll see you next time.
Means